to start with, like, tell your story, man, because I feel like, you know, you already know how important I feel stories are, and like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost more valuable than money. Like, and like, at least in my experience, like a lot of my older family members and stuff, they don't like tell stories about their life. They like more like try to direct you in your life, you know, and try to like steer you of the mistakes they made. And it's kind of more of an excuse of than like actually sharing their experience, which I feel like is more helpful, you know?
Absolutely, man.
So that's another reason why I started this platform, is just like to encourage people to share their experiences and share their stories. You know, real life experience, human experience, so to speak. So,
hell yeah, man.
I'll let you have it, man.
I don't know, man. You want the long and the short of it, brother. How deep do you want me to go?
I mean, you can
What is
start
life? I don't know.
I mean, it's your story, so you can tell it how you want to. That's another thing, is I'm not, just because of exactly what I just said, I'm not going to try to like direct your story. Like, that's what I feel like is part of the reason why I resist that, is I'm trying to write my own story. And so yeah, I'm not going to impose my story on others.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to say. My life is, you know, it's just it's been a hell of a ride, man. I tell you that much, dude.
So you're like a year younger than me, right? Like 32?
32. I will be.
You'll be 33
in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so you're really not much younger than me at all. 89.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
No. Excuse me, 90.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're about to be 32.
Yes, exactly.
I got you.
But yeah, I don't know. I was born and raised around here.
Around here?
Is this how you want me to start this?
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Born and raised Middlesex County.
And you were born in Middlesex, not at the hospital?
Well, I was born in, you know, fucking Kilmarnock.
Yeah, same shit as me.
Hell's Gate Hospital, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, that's where I was born. But anyway, I've lived in Middlesex my whole life. Thought about moving a bunch of times, but things just didn't happen. I just didn't jump on it, you know? I guess I wasn't ready. But,
are we ever?
You know, I accept all the things that happened to me because I made the choice to, you know, walk in that direction. So, you know, like, I guess that's what the basis of my, like, life is. Like, what I believe life is your free will to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know, that's your choice. That's what life is. You know, I don't feel like anything determines that besides you. You know what I mean? So, I don't feel like it's like a zeitgeist or anything like that. Like, or like, of course there's people manipulating the world that we live in and the things that we do for whatever reasons, corporate and shit like this and whatnot. But
we still have the power to agree or disagree with whatever.
You can choose to do whatever the fuck you want to do on any given day at any moment, man. Yeah. That's what fucking life is to me, you know? And I've made some shitty decisions by thinking that way, man. And set myself back a ways here and there, you know? But, you know, I accept that shit. It wasn't all bad. A lot of it was bad, but it wasn't all bad.
What parts do you think were bad?
What parts? Just drug addiction and shit like that. Wasting time, like, fucking off when I should have been, like, taking care of business and shit. Especially when I already had a leg up, you know? I was moving in the right direction and didn't just fuck them. Yeah, man. Drugs are powerful. You know, they can change you as a person. And I hate that shit. I hate that I was able to fucking, like, be that weak, you know what I mean?
That's actually a good topic, though, because I feel like people talk about, like, how important your belief is, and I talk about that a lot, but I do feel like there is some aspect to how drugs, in particular, affect your beliefs, your thoughts, and, like, your decision-making, which like your decision-making is based on what you believe. So if you're taking something that's, like, influencing your beliefs, then, like, yeah, beliefs are important, but there's still, like, it's not all that. Like, there's still something to the biological world, the brain, and, like, there's something to what, like, physical science. Like, yes, the spirit world exists, and classical scientists resist talking about that, and that's part of the reason this is called the balancing act. Is like, I like talking about spiritual stuff, but I don't want to be seen or, like, even talk about it in such a way that it comes off as woo-woo. You know, I'm trying to make that a more practical thing.
Absolutely, it should be.
The importance that I see to that is just like you were talking about, the decisions that we make on an everyday basis and the agreements that we make, our beliefs are going to dictate, the agreements that we make and the actions that we take based on those beliefs.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, it's important to examine what we believe and how we believe, and
Absolutely.
the agreements that we make, just even on a, like I said, practical or everyday basis.
Everyday basis, dude. Hell yeah, man. I like to mean what I say, dude. The 4 agreements, of course, always brings back in that case.
Yeah, you were one of the.
Burn.
I think you even read that even before me.
Yeah, I read it. I don't know. I'm 31. Probably read it like 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
I would say roughly.
Yeah.
Yep. It was amazing. Aaron turned me on to it. My friend Aaron Watson. Shout out to A-Dubs.
Yeah, shout out A-Dub. He turned me on to it as well. I think it was like 13 years ago, the first time I read it. I've read it several times.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron is a fucking interesting character. I miss that guy. What's he up to?
It.
Same old, same old.
What do you think about? I want to go back a little bit to the drugs thing. Like,
absolutely,
there is such a balance between like, and given our health, like not just drugs, but just like what we ingest, our diet,
absolutely,
what we intake. Physically, the food, but not only that, like the thoughts that we take in, like the energy that we take in, the people that we associate ourselves with, like everything that we consume. The information we consume, the news we consume, the beliefs. Again, it all goes back to beliefs for me. But like when it comes to drugs and that interaction with like our body and the way that can influence our decision making, like what? First of all, I'm a cannabis advocate, but like, do you think that there are drugs that should be like totally banned?
No.
No.
Because I believe in free will, man.
Yeah. So do you think that there are at least drugs that should be like heavily regulated? Like strongly?
Yeah, I think that having regulations on drugs is good because you can wipe out a whole fucking society with no fucking governor on that kind of shit, man.
I agree. I think the black market is worse than like a heavily regulated.
Yeah, you think it's worse?
Legal market. Yeah, I think it's strict. Like there's going to be the black market either way.
Yeah,
that's going to exist whether there's a legal market or not. But if you have the legal market, then the people who are at least trying to do the right thing have an option to go and get something to wean themselves off of anything that's so addicting. Like alcohol, that's a whole different story because it actually is legal, but that's one of the worst withdrawals there is.
Know. It's one of the 2 withdrawals
that can kill you.
Benzos and alcohol are the only 2 withdrawals that will actually kill you.
Yeah. And so for those drugs and even like opioids that are super addicting that are people that want to can go to a legal place and like have a class where they can get a certain amount for a week or 2 and then step down and have a plan to get off.
That's a whole fucked up market too, man. Because I see that shit I guess kind of firsthand. I got a buddy that that goes to the clinic. He's heavily medicated from from like car accidents and like drug addiction problems he's had. But it's part of his normal life, man. And it's like I did not realize how normalized that shit was. Exactly, dude. Like it's just like people are going to the clinic to get their medicine and lining up to get basically legal opioids so that they don't get sick, and they don't lower your dose at these clinics. They up your dose over time.
That's not.
This shit's crazy, man. I'm not gonna say much about it, but I don't know how it's legal. But they usually when you go in there, they ramp you up to a certain amount and they'll hold you there. And then, they'll give you doses to take home after you pass certain milestone drug tests and fucking showing up to your meetings and shit. After a certain amount of pre-designated thumbs up, you get to take a certain amount of drugs home per week or per month, or depending on how good you've been. Basically, it's weird, man. It's called they call them pain management centers or addiction management centers, and they're everywhere, dude. They're just tucked into the back of mini malls and shit like that. It's wild, bro.
Yeah.
I'm this is legal. This is crazy, dude. I never even knew this place was right here. What the fuck is going on,
It's actually funny
bro?
That you brought that up because I had never really even thought about that industry, which is fucked up that it's even an industry, right? But I had never even really
pharmaceutical.
Well, not. I've thought about pharmaceuticals, but in particular, the methadone treatment centers. because one of the pharmacists, because it's a medical cannabis clinic, it's like I'm a pharmacy technician. I had to actually take a class to get the job.
Oh, yeah?
And shit.
Nice.
Yeah. And like one of the pharmacists, he used to work at methadone clinics, and he was like fuck that shit, and he got into cannabis.
Yeah, right on.
But like he doesn't really talk about it too much, but like the little bit he's talked about it, I can kind of like see why he was like fuck that shit, I'm getting out now, because he like saw that it's not really helping people, you know. And he's like a good dude, you know. Well, methadone, like the whole methadone,
it doesn't, man.
The way that their plan is set up.
Everybody,
I do think that institution could do good things.
Yeah, but it gets abused, like on the that's the norm. Is to abuse that system,
you should never be upping the dosage at a place that's supposed to be getting you off the drug.
I don't understand why this shit is legal, because it's everybody I've talked to that's done it before and got clean off of methadone said that the withdrawals from that shit was worse than fucking heroin, man. Like, it lasts like twice as long. Yeah. It's like, this is the shit that you're giving me to get off of this shit? Well, how does this make sense at all?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, no, that's why cannabis for the win, man. Yeah. Cannabis for the win, for sure.
Just, don't put anything in your body that it, doesn't need too often, I will say. You can... I feel like you should abuse your body from time to time so that you can strengthen your will, your body's will.
Test yourself.
I don't think you should push it to the limits, but you definitely need to push your body and your mind from time to time.
Push your limits.
Exactly.
To
say,
not to the point where you put yourself in danger, or not too much danger.
All right, there you go.
Not fatal danger.
Sometimes fucking doing shit that could really fuck you over.
Trying to like jump from rock to rock on like two slippery rocks in a river or some shit like that. Just like but that's just like an example. Yeah. Test like your control.
I love that shit, man. Challenging myself personally on a like normal basis. That shit is fun, man.
Yeah, no doubt. If nobody else does it, you might as well do it to yourself, man. I try to stay agile, even when my size goes up. I try to keep my body nimble. Yeah, I'm nowhere near those guys on YouTube, but you ever checked out Parkour?
Oh my God, have I?
Bro,
I've been watching that shit for too long, man.
Those people in Europe
shit
is insane.
Enamored me,
there's good people in America too, but they like started that shit. I feel like in Europe.
Huh?
I feel like that's originated in Europe, right?
Yeah, that's where it blew up. Like Europe and Russia, I think. Yeah. And, like a lot of British guys do. It's a lot in Britain. I'd say in
France,
Britain, France, Eastern Europe, and like Russia and shit like that.
Right.
I guess it's where the epicenters are. I could be completely wrong.
No, that shit.
But I know
about like testing the limits.
Yeah, man.
Those people.
That's
really
just
test
amazing, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta trust in your body, man.
Yeah. And practice.
Yeah.
Work at it first.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't trust your body, don't fucking do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Motherfuckers that think they can just jump across buildings and shit like this. I don't feel bad when they like fall in a gulch and like die. You know what I mean?
You gotta be smarter than that.
Fucking idiot. This is Mother Nature doing her job, man. Like you were not meant to be a productive member of society, dude. And it's probably best that you got out of the way. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get canceled. The internet's gonna cancel you after episode number 1.
I'm sorry. I don't want people to die, but
I love it.
You can't tell me that there aren't some people on this planet that are not benefiting us besides making us feel the pain to be stronger in the future.
That's the thing. I don't even have to say nothing about it. They take care of themselves.
About it.
No, I agree with you.
I don't give a fuck about the internet, by the way. I mean, hello, internet.
My brother.
It's just a tool, man. People
totally.
can say whatever they want to say. I don't care. I'm just talking shit right now.
And dude, that's what it should be used for. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm just fucking with you. I don't care. I'm not going to cancel you. You're on my platform.
That's just
my
funny
platform's already canceled before it even makes it anyway. So we're good.
Yeah, man. It's like a hardcore pre-cancel people. Cancel before cancel was canceled.
For shit. Man. Exactly. That's too real though.
Excuse me. Making a mess. But yeah, dude, that kind of internet culture and shit really bugs me out, bro.
Yeah.
I try to say I try to keep my place of myself a vacuum in there.
I've noticed you barely do much or say
I use it as a tool to communicate with people that I cannot otherwise communicate with on an easier medium. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or to just fucking fuck off for a few minutes. I've been down some rabbit holes. Some of them very enlightening. Some of them fucking
Total waste of time.
stupefying. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
exactly.
saying? But that's the internet, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Just take it for what it is. But I try to use it as a tool more than anything else. I don't try to get sucked into it unless I'm doing something that's going to benefit me.
It is alive, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, man. It's a
I feel like
living, breathing
beast than
electronic
just
organism.
Other than tool, I agree that I think it's best used as a tool,
Yeah,
but it
That's
also
what it
feels
is.
like it's coming alive, though, to a certain extent.
it is, man. I mean, it's got to
reaching
be
into
somewhat.
everybody's lives. You
Yeah.
know? Even if you avoid
Because
it,
we give
like
it the right
people that
to,
you
man.
associate with are using it. You know,
Exactly. It's the internet. Everything's connected on the internet.
the web.
Every single fucking thing on the
literally a
internet is
web,
connected
you know?
to every single thing on the internet.
yeah,
That's
no doubt.
that
no
shit is mind-boggling too when you think about